Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. From Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9. Text 42-43. Tam drishtvo pavanabhyasa ayantam tarasaratat avaruhya nripasturnam asadhya prema vivlaha paririve angajam dorbhyam Dirgotkanta manah swashan Visvakshenangri samsparsha Hatasheshagha bandhanam. Translation, no purport. Purport is only for next one. Upon seeing Dhruva Maharaj approaching the neighboring small forest, King Utanapada with great haste got down from his chariot. He had been very anxious for a long time to see his son Dhruva, and therefore with great love and affection he went forward to embrace his long-lost boy. Breathing very heavily, the king embraced him with both arms. But Dhruva Maharaj was not the same as before. He was completely sanctified by the spiritual advancement due to having been touched by the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 44. Atha jigran muhur murdni sitair nayanavaribihi snapayama satanayam jato dhama manorataha. Reunion with Dhruva Maharaj filled King Utanapada's long-cherished desire, and for this reason he smelled Dhruva's head again and again and bathed him with torrents of very cold tears. Purport. By nature's way, when a man cries, there may be two causes. When one cries in great happiness upon the fulfillment of some desire, the tears coming forth from the eyes are very cold and pleasing, whereas tears in the time of distress are very hot. Text 45. Abhivandhya pituhu padam ashirbhischa bimantritaha nanama mataro shirshna satkritaha satjanagranihi. Then Dhruva Maharaj, the foremost of all nobles, first of all offered his obeisances at the feet of his father and was honored by his father with various questions. He then bowed his head at the feet of his two mothers. Purport. It may be questioned why Dhruva Maharaj offered his respect not only to his mother but also to his stepmother, due to whose insults he had to leave. The answer is that after achieving perfection by self-realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, Dhruva Maharaj was completely freed from all contamination of material desires. Feeling of insult or honor in the material world are never perceived by a devotee. Lord Chaitanya therefore says that one has to be humbler than the grass, and he recommends more tolerant than tree to execute devotional service. Dhruva Maharaj therefore has in this verse been described as Satjanagranihi, the foremost of noble men. The pure devotee is the noblest of all, and he has no feeling of animosity towards anyone. Duality due to animosity is a creation of the material world. There is no such thing in the spiritual world which is the absolute reality. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Finally, Utanapada, King Utanapada, could see Dhruva Maharaj just coming out of the forest, and in great haste he got down from the chariot and ran towards his son with great love and affection, and he embraced his son for a long time, breathing very heavily. He embraced his son in two arms. However, Dhruva Maharaj was not like his old son. He was a completely transformed personality because he had the direct association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all pure. So by associating with the Supreme, all pure, Dhruva Maharaj's ego, personality, everything had become pure. Following that, it is described here that King Utanapada smelled Dhruva Maharaj's head again with this Vatsalya feelings, because he was waiting for him for so long with no hope. He was almost sure that the animals have killed him. And finally, when he could see him face to face, he embraced him and was smelling his head again and again. While doing so, he was continuously weeping. He was weeping out of joy of having got his son back. Tears of joy. As Prabhupada says, the tears of joy are very pleasing, very relieving. When you are angry or when you are fearful, then Prabhupada says here, angry, fearful, distressed, then that kind of crying, the tears are very hot, Prabhupada says. It is a fact. Then what did Dhruva Maharaj do? Dhruva Maharaj touched the feet of, paid obeisances at the feet of his father, and the next he paid obeisances to the feet of his two mothers. And Prabhupada raises a question here. Why Dhruva Maharaj offered respect to only, why to his stepmother, why not only to his mother? Because it is due to the insult of his mother that he had to leave home. And the answer is that Dhruva Maharaj had now achieved perfection of having seen the Supreme Lord face to face. When one comes directly in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all his material desires vanishes. And material desires vanish. Material desires are caused by false ego. When one stands before the Lord, all false ego melts away. The false ego, ahankara, that I am this body, I am my bodily desires or my desires. My body is a social member of this world, and the social desires of this bodily identity are my desires. This is the root cause, or social ego, bodily ego, called ahankara, is a cause for all further desires, endeavor, sukha, dukkha, everything. The starting point is ahankara. Ahankara the characteristic of ahankara is that I am independent. I am independent. I can take care of my existence. I am self-made, self-sustained, independent, independently existing, for independently gaining enjoyment of different types. Independently acquiring Satta, Chitta, and Ananda. This is a characteristic of ahankara. The moment we say, I am this body, material body, then we've forgotten our true identity as an eternal servant of Krishna. So, how in one darshan of the Supreme Lord, or in one direct touch of the Supreme Lord, how does all the ahankara go away? Because the real aham is lit. The forgotten real aham is awakened. And what is the real aham? Real aham? The real aham is, I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. I am the same quality as the Supreme Lord. I am not this body. That is the revelation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jivere Surupoye Nitya Krishna Dasa. The living entity is eternally part and parcel of the Lord. The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, of course, Krishna says he is completely transcendental. And then Krishna says, Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke Jiva, you are part and parcel of me, which also means that, Krishna is not of material body. Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha. When he says, you are my Amsha, it also means that your quality is also Satchidananda. You are not this body. But it is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who revealed a little more. He revealed, no, your substance is Satchidananda. What is your function? Functional definition of the soul is that soul is Nitya Krishna Dasa, is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. We are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. That is our true ego. So when our true ego is awakened, the spiritual dignity of true ego, when that is awakened, then all this ahankara goes away, because ahankara are all false eyes. They're all identification with different role play in this material world. I am son of a king. All these things, all that have vanished already. It has vanished from his consciousness, dissolved. Therefore it is said that he did not even perceive insult. Such a person does not perceive insult or honor. Both he does not perceive. Because he is fixed in the identity of the Supreme, one with the Supreme Lord in quality, which means he is not part of this material world. I am not part of this drama of this material world. So what does it matter, honor or dishonor? Does not matter. He sees everything as the will of the Lord. Just like here, he could be seeing the will of the Lord that my stepmother insulted me. But as a result of insulting, I have been benefited by the darshan of the Lord. When he left the palace, he left with revenge. When he left the palace, he was angry against his stepmother. Because ahankara. He could not see the will of the Lord. Out of anger, he left. He met the Supreme Lord face to face, become purified. Since the same Dhruva Maharaj comes back, he has no anger. He has all respect for her as a second mother. He touches her feet. So these kind of ego clashes in the material world, duality due to animosity is a creation of this material world. It is a permutation, combination of the three modes. There is no such thing in the spiritual world which is absolute reality. So the solution to all obstacles that we come across during the course of our devotional service is to remember our spiritual dignity as not being this body, but being an eternal servant of the Lord, being a spirit soul, not being I am this, I am that, all these I ams of this material world. They are disgraceful identity compared to what is the dignity of the soul. Dignity means, what is spiritual dignity? Spiritual dignity means it's a ego rasa. Dignity is ego rasa. Suppose somebody says in the material world, you hurt my dignity. What is it? It is a ego rasa. So we should all have absolute ego rasa. Absolute ego rasa is what? I am not this body, I am not this man, I am not this woman. I am servant of Krishna. I cannot act below the dignity. I cannot act below my dignity. I cannot think below my dignity. I cannot feel below my dignity. My dignity is I am servant of Srila Prabhupada, I am servant of Krishna. I cannot act below the dignity as being Satchidananda consciousness. I cannot act below the dignity of enjoying bodily sense gratification of this flesh. I cannot fall for this flesh below my dignity. What is my dignity? I am beautiful, eternal servant of Krishna, now covered. That is the truth of my soul. So the spiritual dignity is also like is a spiritual pride. Some quote I'll read. Nobody is master, everybody is servant. Therefore, one who executes his duties according to my injunctions, God's injunctions, and who follows the teachings faithfully becomes free from bondage. As soon as you become servant to somebody besides God, that means you have fallen from your dignity. Then you are in bondage. You are in obligation. Obligation there is, but there is not bondage. To become servant of God is not bondage, but the servant of dog is a bondage. So the intelligent person is he who knows that I am the servant. So why not become servant of the greatest? Just like somebody wants to be worker in government service. Why? Because government is very big establishment, great establishment. He has got many facilities. That is not bondage. Similarly, why not become the servant of the supreme government? That is a perfect knowledge. So long you are not servant of God, that means you are deficient in knowledge. And perfect knowledge is to become servant of God, because you cannot escape by not being a servant of God. Everyone has to become a servant, this side or that side. Srila Prabhupada, why I shall be proud? What I have got? I am humble servant of Krishna. Let me discharge my duties. But if one is proud after becoming a pure servant of Krishna, that is very good. Hear this. But if one is proud after becoming a pure servant of Krishna, that is very good. That is dhambaha. That pride is very glorious. I am servant of Krishna. That is very nice. So one has got the tendency to become proud. So if one is proud to become a cat or dog or a tiger or so-called big man of this material world, that is for his bondage. Asuri. Daivi sampad vimokshya. And that is Daivi. If you become proud in Daivi sampad, if you become proud by becoming the most confidential servant of Krishna, the same pride is for your liberation. And if you become proud that I am minister, I am this big dog or big, this is nirbandaya, your bondage. You will continue material life. By your spiritual pride, of course, we must be proud after being situated in spiritual platform. Otherwise, that is also ignorance. So, two things are there, Daivi Sampad and Asuri Sampad. Asuri Sampad means more and more entanglement and bondage within this material world. And Daivi Sampad means your freedom from material world. So, very nice clue Prabhupada is giving here, that if you are able to enjoy the Daivi Sampad of my eternal identity as a servant of the Lord, that is just like one takes happiness in one's wealth. The same way, Sampad means wealth. One takes happiness in one's spiritual wealth. And spiritual wealth, that is Krishna conscious happiness. One rejoices in his Daivi Sampad. One rejoices in the thought that I am not this temporary dirty body. I am Satchidananda, servant of the Lord. I don't die. I'm not born. I don't die. I take different bodies and experience the drama of being born, drama of dying. But actually I am an eternal servant of the Lord. The very simple thought, meditation on that is a higher taste of Krishna consciousness. So if one can taste his Daivi Sampad, it is always there. I am what I am. I am eternal servant of Krishna. Just by forgetting that I am and thinking that I am the body, I don't become the body. I am always what I am. By forgetting that I am what I am, I become this body. I think I am this body, I am part of this world. But actually we are part and parcel of Krishna and part of Krishna's world. Krishna's world means entire existence. Entire existence. Material and spiritual existence. In that I am a tiny part and parcel. And there is a spiritual, as Prabhupada says here, that pride is not for showing to the outside world. In the material world, pride is for showing somebody that I have something more than what you have. The rasa of pride, rasa of dignity, oh, false ego is hurt. He did not give me due respect. I am bigger than him in the society. These are the kind of false dignity, rasa, that people get hurt, all these things in the material world. As Prabhupada says, we all have the tendency to be proud about what we really are. If you're really being situated as an eternal servant of Krishna, then it is a matter of pride. One should enjoy that. It is not for taking advantage in relationship to other living entities. The spiritual pride is different from material pride. Spiritual pride is only for enjoying within oneself that I am eternal servant of the Lord. I am connected to the Supreme Lord. I am eternally related to the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is my most intimate relationship. I have forgotten. But Guru, Sadhu and Shastra says, this is what I am. Oh, so wonderful to think and meditate that one day at least I will awaken my original consciousness that I am not this useless temporary body. I am not member of this useless material world which comes and goes, human society. So many civilizations come and go. I am big man, I am small man. They are all artificial. Perverted ego rasa. Absolute ego rasa, if we have to cultivate. That is the meaning of cultivating Krishna conscious happiness. It has to be cultivated. A sadhaka has to cultivate it. A pure devotee is awakened this Krishna conscious happiness. He does not have to cultivate it. He is always situated in that platform. But a sadhaka has to cultivate that. Cultivate means culture his mind. And culturing his mind means culturing his activities. His achara, his vichara, all those things he cultivates according to his status. We all have a very high status. Compared to all the material status, simply being a devotee of Krishna is super status. Should take pride in that status of being the servant by Prabhupada's mercy. I understand that I am not this stupid body, bound by karma. I am eternal servant of the Lord. He is my eternal relative. And he has a relationship with me, not I only have a relationship. He has a relationship with me. I have forgotten my relationship with him. He has an eternal relationship of love and compassion on me. That is why when I chant Hare Krishna, he is very pleased. Why he is pleased for us? Very soon we are going to stop suffering and go back to him. We are suffering in illusion. Life after life, many, many lives, haunted by different ahankaras, false egos. I am this body. So being haunted, right now everybody in the material world, every soul is haunted by an identity, by an ego, which is not his true ego. Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness means to awaken one's real ego. Feel one's real ego. Feel the dignity, feel the Sat nature, Chit nature, Ananda nature of one's own true self. It is very powerful. This pride that Prabhupada is talking is a very powerful thing. A sadhaka should cultivate that. Then he will not fall down. His spiritual ego will protect him. He will not act below his status. Suppose somebody whom you are preaching calls you, let's go to the bar. You are brahmachari, let's go to the bar. You will say, you will think twice. Even if it is for collecting a check. थोड़ा सोचेगा. That too evening time, prime time. Some disco is going on also. Please come. Collect your check. What happens? You are looking at your dignity. Isn't it? When you have that dignity, I am sadhu, it is so powerful, you won't fall for it. You'll say, I'll come tomorrow and collect. No, you have to come. Okay, I'll come tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll change your brahmachari dress, put pant and shirt, go and collect the check. You have saved your dignity. In the same way, if we feel, we should feel our spiritual dignity of being Krishna's servant. Whose servant? Krishna's servant. Just like in our small social world, if the son gets in a good job, in a good company, he'll say, hey, I am working there. Now all others, oh, you got job there. You got job in Infosys. Okay, I got it. So he creates own dignity. I am servant of Infosys. Dignity, he enjoys that. He is servant of small software company. छोटा काम है इसका, neighbor. उसका लड़का तो छोटा कंपनी में काम करता है. My son is working in Infosys. He'll tell. Just like so many Indians, they take pride. How many children you have, sir? Oh, I have 3 children. All are in America. Because sending children in being America, one is here, one is there, with great pride they tell. So, and once you have a pride, you don't act below the dignity of that pride. Just like you see all this branded product. People who have they start getting little higher salary, they'll not buy ordinary shoes, they'll get branded shoes. Because they want to save their dignity. When they go into their office and all, everybody is wearing that. I should also wear that. So you analyze this. How feeling of that ego rasa we should utilize for controlling our senses. We should utilize not to act below the dignity of a Vaishnava. Not to think, not to have thoughts that is below the dignity of being a Vaishnava, servant of the Lord. No, I cannot think like this. Not to enjoy pleasures below the dignity of a Vaishnava. That is why even this brahmachari dress, it all helps. So you maintain that dignity. Somebody takes sannyas, then he has to maintain that dignity as a sannyasi. He has to, decorum of behavior is there, his thinking is there, what he does and all those. It helps in bhakti. I am a sannyasi. It's a favorable dignity. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, ultimate dignity, you are not sannyasi, you are not brahmachari, you are not grihastha, anything, but you are eternal servant of Krishna. That's your highest dignity. But all these dignities we can use. But ultimately we are chanting Hare Krishna. We have to feel that ego pleasure or dignity, Krishna conscious happiness of being not servant of any XYZ. I am servant of Srila Prabhupada, pure devotee of Krishna, most confidential servitor of Krishna. I am servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am servant of Nityananda Prabhu. I am servant of Krishna. I am servant of Radharani. I am servant of all the previous acharyas. Oh, what a job I have got. Where am I employed? Not in Infosys or anywhere. What is my dignity? I am a Vaikuntha man. I am initiated in the parampara of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am a Vaikuntha man. I cannot act like a karmi. I don't want to enjoy dignity of this karmis. I want to enjoy the dignity of being the servant of the Lord, servant of Prabhupada. So this feeling of dignity is so powerful. When you cultivate this becomes a higher taste. All this lower taste, you don't have to struggle. Sense gratification. No, it's below my dignity. I'm not saying there is no pleasure in it. There is illusory pleasure in it. It's below my dignity. Now you are a brahmachari. I'll tell you, stand in the road and eat one ice cream. Will you do? No. Ice cream is very tasty. But I give you in the ashram, you'll eat it. I'm explaining this for you. It's a very powerful means of self-control. To feel dignity, to culture your self-dignity, spiritual dignity is very powerful self-control. You don't have to control your senses. Automatically senses are controlled. You will tell, pack and give. Any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is regarding socializing, Prabhu.
Regarding?
Socializing.
Socializing. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. So, in our service of preaching to donors, there will be requirement that we have to socialize with them, connect with them. But the spirituality is against that. I think so. What do you suggest on that?
Socializing depends on what is the subject matter. Which way you want to socialize. Even going and sitting and preaching Krishna consciousness is also socializing. So we have to have filtered socializing. Anything in spiritual life, anything you want to dovetail, it has to be regulated, it has to be controlled, and one has to be careful. So when you are preaching to karmis, when we have to socialize, there are certain limits up to certain level, certain times, certain kinds of socializing are okay. Beyond that, when you cross that, then you get contaminated. So you should be expert. You should not let yourself fully and go and socialize. Gaya. They will swallow their consciousness will swallow your consciousness. You have gone there to swallow to clean their consciousness. But instead they will pull you into their consciousness. So socializing, for instance, brahmachari, socializing, somebody will say, this problem, that problem. Husband will tell the brahmachari, my wife is not listening to me, Prabhuji, you preach. Huh? Prabhuji, ye kaam to main nahi ho sakta hai. He means well. अरे साधु है, पावरफुल है, तो उसको थोड़ा preaching करो, मेरे को listen करने को. Because there are family problems. You understand? So in all those things, we don't put our finger inside. If he says that, you just say, आप थोड़ा अच्छी तरह जप करो, आपकी वाइफ ठीक हो जाएगा. हरे नाम एव केवलम कलो नास्ति एव गतिरन्यता. ये बोल के हर जगह में हे बोल के आ जाओ. Solution to all problems is chant Hare Krishna. Anything. We touch money, dovetail money, right? In Krishna consciousness. But we have to be very careful. If you don't have filtered connection with money, money is power. We lose to our sense urges. Without knowing, we'll engage that money in sense gratification. So we have to be very cautious. For all that, what I told you today in the class is very useful. Maintain your spiritual dignity. Of course, ultimately, brahmachari dignity and all should go. But at least, jab tak I am eternal servant of Krishna dignity awaken nahi hua, jab tak I'm devotee dignity, brahmachari dignity, whatever it is, favorable ones are there. Sannyasi dignity, we can utilize. But we can cross even now everybody who is chanting 16 rounds every day, don't have to take this dignity of brahmachari, dignity of sannyasi and all. Most powerful thing, hum kaun hai? Hum Krishna ki servant hai. What that dignity? I will do what a sannyasi should not do also, if it is for pleasure of Krishna. I will do what a brahmachari should not do also, if in the circumstances it is pleasing to Krishna. I told you, you will wear pant and shirt and go and collect check. I am not attached. I am brahmachari. Hey, मैं कैसे पैंट पहनूं? अरे वो चेक दे रहा है, पैंट पहनो जाओ. कपड़ा में क्या है? Prabhupada said, when you are going to Muslim countries, he told the sannyasis, put nice suit, night cap, so that your shikha is covered, night cap, and go and preach. And because Prabhupada gave license like this, some devotees, they are not shaving at all, they are always growing hair. Prabhupada one day caught them and tell them, what is this? Every 15 days he should shave. Not that everybody will grow hair like this in my movement. So according to need, these things can be done. Any other question? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.